Hi and welcome to Martin Lindeskog's podcast, Ego NetCast. Today's podcast is brought to you by audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/ego netcast. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle or MP3 player. Hello, Dan Swords. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Martin. How are you?
Good. So I will start out. You sent me an intro, so I will read from that and then also read from your bio on Twitter. So Dan is a freelance copywriter and he has been writing for 25 years. Besides writing business copy, he currently is blogging at dan&rsquo.com, where he guides you through the blogging process. His posts are filled with blogging tips and tricks that you could use in your blogging journey. His mantra is inspiring the writer in all of us, one blog post at a time. That's nice said. So, Dan,
That's awesome.
how many blog posts have you written so far? Do you know?
Oh, um, for myself,
Yeah,
upwards over 50.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
So,
it's one of my favorite things to do is to sit down and try to write,
yeah,
or sit down and write.
yeah. When did you start blogging?
Blogging on a regular basis was probably um, 10 months ago.
Yeah,
Before that, I was kind of doing it on a hit and miss,
yeah,
on a hit and miss basis, but yeah, full time for about 10 months now.
yeah. That's great. So I will read from your Twitter profile also, and that's Dan D Swords on Twitter. And then you are using several hashtags here: freelance writer, technical writer, blogger, content creation, social media, Twitter, writer for hire, and you are also a runner, dog lover, blogging at dancewords.com. And you have about impressive 8,491 followers, and you're following almost 6,000 uh, people here. So
Yeah, I love Twitter.
yeah, that's great to hear. So we could take that already from the bet. You are a runner, I'm a walker, you are a dog lover, and I'm a cat fan. So who will win that fight? So to joke a bit, what kind of dog do you have?
I have a big old chocolate lab named Elvis.
Wow. Is he listening to Elvis music also?
Yes, he loves Elvis also.
That's great. So maybe you could do some viral YouTube videos with your dog listening to Elvis.
I have actually thought about including him into some making some videos for Facebook
Yeah.
and including him in there, but I haven't quite got that far yet.
No. I have done some few videos with our cats, the family cats, and that's pretty neat. And you're a runner. I interviewed Timo Kiander, also known as the Productive Super Dad, and he is a great runner. He's from Finland, so maybe you should listen to that podcast also. He writing about productivity and being a home-based business and stay at home and working with his stuff and work. So
I'll have to check that out. Yeah.
yeah, great. So, what's up, and what are you doing at the moment with work projects, hobbies, etc.? It would be fascinating to learn more about your uh, expertise as a technical writer. How could you compare that with blogging and writing for a technical like journal or manual or something like that?
Well, becoming a writer was not one of my main goals in life. It's just something I kind of fell into, and I I love it. I've been doing it for 23, 25 years now,
Hmm.
and I haven't looked back at it. It's been real enjoyable. Um,
What's the most enjoyable of with the writing? Is it the process? Is it to come up with new ideas, or to put it on paper, thinking on paper?
It's probably the whole thing, you know.
Yeah,
It's the creative part of it
yeah,
all. I like having an idea and a blank screen or a blank piece of paper, and developing your idea and putting it out on putting it in words and reading it and sending it off to other people so they can use it, they can enjoy it, you know, for whatever the case may be, for, you know, the reason why you wrote that.
yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
I like to help people. I like to try to write. When I write, I always think about my end user and
yeah.
what they're going to do with it. So if
Mhm.
I'm writing a technical manual, I try to keep it in their sort of language, so you know that the technician can use it and understand it. And then the same thing with a blog post too. I keep it in regular everyday English, so everybody can read it and understand it and use it so they can better themselves.
That's great, and I will give a tip to a friend of mine who is also writing this technical stuff and manuals and journals and descriptions, and because I try to introduce him to the social media world and blogging and so on. So I think he could get inspired by that, listening to somebody in America done this. So
Well, you know, with technical writing, it's straightforward. It's step A, step B, you know, step C. But to where when you get out and you start blogging, that allows the creativity part
yeah,
of a writer to show up.
and that's nice. And I will probably bounce out on off bouncing some ideas with you regarding my project of writing a book on tea. Uh, so because I have drinking tea for a long time and I enjoy it very much. I've been curious about the tea market and so on. And I want to do
Hmm.
it with my twist. But there you could, when you have so many ideas, you write it down. I have a language consultant in Swedish that will help me with the text in Swedish, and then I will translate it into English. But you have so many ideas, and then you put it in chapters, and you will answer questions that could be for the readers.
Hmm.
And there you have a process to that you when you have started to get going and continue and to editing and so on and have fun with it. But I see lots of opportunities writing a book about a hobby and a passion and interest. So and even I think a coffee drinker as you could enjoy reading about tea. So
Yes, I probably would.
yeah, what's
My
your
my my
yeah
wife loves tea.
yeah that's good to
She's a
hear.
big tea drinker. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. So, and I talked to recently. I had an interview with Gary Shoulders, and they drank white tea. That was their favorite tea. So, more. Do you have any hobbies or interest? You have a dog, you said, your pet, and and also running. Is it in your area, or you compete in competitions
I
and so on? And
Yeah, it's mainly just for health reasons
yeah.
now, you know, just staying in shape. I have done a couple half marathons,
Mhm.
so those were it's always a joy to finish those. But you know, I like being outside, I like running, I like riding my bike, sitting outside too. It's just, you know, it's just nice to be outside and have that fresh air.
Yeah, it is. Do you listen to podcasts then also when you're running or biking or walking or sitting outside?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. I listen to them all the time.
yeah, great. So where are you, if I may ask, where are you located? Which area of United States?
I am in the Midwest in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I'm just south of Milwaukee,
Mhm.
in a town called Racine, where we're on just off of Lake Michigan,
Yeah.
probably 60 miles, 70 miles north of Chicago.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's this has been a real cool year
Yeah.
because we had such cold weather. Yeah, it's beautiful right now. 60, 70 degrees. Uh, doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah. That sounds great and neat in anything. Do you want to explore a bit about the writing process and you have said you have written about 50 posts. You have done it for like 10 months. Do you, so far how you like it and response and your plans when it comes for the future with writing? You want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Um, I'm sorry, Martin. It broke up a little bit, and I didn't quite catch everything you
Yeah,
said.
that's okay. The writing process, and that you now have been blogging for some time, for 10 months, and writing about 50 different posts. Could you explore that so far, what you have enjoyed it and learned from it, and plans for the future when it comes to blogging and other social media activities?
Yeah, sure. With the blogging process, my blog originally started out as a as a technical writer's blog.
Mm.
It was a blog for technical writing and you know the tips and tricks on uh, how to be a good technical writer.
Yeah.
But I quickly saw a need that people were asking questions on just how to blog, how to write, and that sort of stuff. So my blog, like I said, it went through a transformation. So now it strictly deals with the like you said, the creative process and how to write and how to blog. Um, there's there's a one of the things I do is I sit down with a calendar
Mm.
and think about the different subjects that I want to write about. It's so important to have a posting calendar to keep yourself organized when you're writing. So that way you can, you know, you want to talk on, you know, one week you want to talk about dogs,
Mm.
and say the next week you want to talk about dog walking,
Yeah.
and you know the third week you know you want to talk about feeding your dog.
Mm.
By writing them down
Mm.
and or by writing them down on the calendar, it really helps you get focused on what it is you want to write about. That that when it comes time to sit down and write, you're not just sitting there at the blank screen, you know, watching the cursor blink, trying to figure out what you're going to write about. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, how many of us have been there?
Yes.
You know, God, I know I got to write, but you can't come up with anything. This really helps you in the process of figuring out what you're going to write and when you're going to write it.
That's a great tip. Have you written a blog post about this writing calendar?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So then
Yes.
we'll add that in the future show notes, because great, because I admit that I've been blogging since 2002, and back and forth you could have getting this so-called writer's block, but you
Yes.
could help it with. I got a tip from a co-writer, you could say, and co-partner of our T site, tparty.new, and he came up with the idea that every day have a special category. So on Monday it's Monday open thread. I mean, post a photo or what are you drinking in beginning of the week or whatever.
Hmm.
Tuesday is Tuesday tech, like a teapot, electrical teapot or something like that. Wednesday is Wednesday Wrap, have links with other tea bloggers. Thursday is in Swedish is called Torsdag. That's the god, the Nordic god, Norse Tor, with the hammer. So
Hmm.
then you
Hmm.
could ventilate or say something about politics or whatever, or Tea Party movement or something like that. And on Friday, it's thank God it's Friday, so then you could have a party, afternoon tea party or something like that. Saturday could be something in that matter also, like a party or off schedule or off work. And Sunday could be insights and enlightenment, and you have done some introspection. So there you have filled the whole week. Of course, the problem and the challenge is to really write every week and put in drafts and material that you have for the future. and that I have struggled with for a long time, because I want to so-called have the inspiration. I know you have to prepare things, maybe something that will be more suitable to post later on, but it should be fun to write and blog and so on also. But if you have this kind of, as you said, calendar or schedule, that could help. Then of course different bloggers and different content creators have argued how often or how seldom, and it's up to every person and up to every style, and of course the readers, how often they want to read. Or
Right.
so have you got any reaction on that, if you like blogging several times a week, or a few times a month, or every day, or as you said, this now I will do like a series of posts, like this week will be the theme about dog food, or some nutrition for the dogs, or so on. Have you experiment with that?
Right. Yeah. I really like to go with one new post a week.
Mm-hmm.
Post my new content on Saturday night or Sunday morning, and then go through the different social media. Post it on Facebook and on Twitter and that sort of stuff. But but by me posting once a week, it allows me to take little bits and snippets of that content and use it into Twitter to bring, because the life of a tweet. I've read different things. It lasts a couple hours or a couple minutes. I'm more on the couple minute range. I think once you put a tweet out, you got a couple minutes and then nobody else, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
So what I like to do is you put your tweets out on Sunday about it, and then Monday you can also put another tweet out, but not the same thing, but just a little snippet from your post.
Yeah,
that way you'll keep your content fresh out on Twitter.
Yeah, that's good advice. Because you have only 140 characters, and you have different time zones and others. So I think, and that's the challenge for Twitter, I think, because now Twitter have involved in that way, and often people compare Twitter, Facebook, but it's different platform, different styles. But the challenge,
totally different.
The challenge for
different audience, different everything.
The challenge for Twitter is to have these search functions, have these tags that you will be able to find them later on. If I have written a tweet that I liked, and to try to find it 6 months from now, it's a challenge and hard to find. If you don't like your own tweets, you put a golden star there or something like that. So there I think Twitter, because they have a huge data bank, and it's a gold mine of material. But it is, as you said, this flow, and you shouldn't get some. When I talk to people and they say, I say Twitter is big, but it's still few percentage, at least in Europe, that uses them, and it's certain kind of people. It's like famous people, celebrities, politicians, people in the tech field. But in America it have become more for also small business owners and so on. But still it's I often how would you say, describe it as it's like radio channels that you listen to in the background, or several at the same time, and you do it for some time, and then you shut it off or have it in the background or so on, so you don't have to watch it the whole time. And then you of course could use tools like Hootsuite and others to find stuff and so on. But I think Twitter wants to find this search functionality and new features in the future, because otherwise it will be, as you say, you write it and then it's gone.
Right. Yeah, you were talking about using Hootsuite, and if you're a blogger, Hootsuite and Twitter, I think are the best tools for you to use. If you want to get your word out, that's how you do it. And through guest posting.
Yeah.
where you start writing posts for other people's websites.
Mm.
That's just such a great way to open up your writing to a whole new world of people.
Yeah, and then I will do that here on air, so to speak. It's recorded, so it's live in a way, but it's will be uploaded later. But then I will invite you to be, if you want, to be a guest writer, guest blogger on my first blog, Ego blog, that I started 2002, because I have so-called officially taking a blog break and gone fishing. So I will send an invite via Blogger, and you could write whatever you feel for and like for and could be of interest to my readers, because I stick with Ego blog there, because I've done it for so long time. But my
Mhm.
main focus is now will be on the podcasting and my egonetcast.com site. But I don't want
Yeah,
to
that'd be
stop.
great.
I don't want to stop with that blog, and I mean it's all kind of categories and topics on my blog. Everything from cats to chili peppers to politics, philosophy, tea, whatever, and small business. But I started out several years ago to have inviting guest bloggers during the summertime, and it was so funny to see how they tried to evolve and write in their style, but also take some of my style. Like a pundit, I write often shorter pieces, and it was
Hmm.
fun that I usually you don't get so many comments maybe on your blog posts. People like it, lurk, and they maybe share it under. But takes to take some time and write a comment. That's some time to do. But it was funny to see the comments and others on my guest bloggers. So then I said maybe I should be on break for a longer time, because it was interesting to see this new type of feedback and comments.
Right, right. I've been on both sides of the guest post, the guest post fence there, where
Yeah,
I've guest post on other ones, and like you said, I've had people guest post on my site, and and the feedback and the hits you get are just great,
yeah,
because now you get your audience, but you get their audience also.
yeah. And I have some perspective and experience what how it was in the beginning to get people find new blogs. So then it was how would you say, an activity called like blog carnival. It's not so common any longer, but you could have a theme, you could have a special area like economists or philosophy bloggers or food bloggers or pet lovers or whatever, um, and then you had it do a turnaround. So one week you were the host and you invited people to write blog posts and send it to you, and then you compiled it in one post. So the people who sent blog post submissions, they got traffic and hits and new readers, and the host got, of course, attention also, because
Hmm.
all the you could say guest bloggers or people who submitted entries told them that now it's the new carnival on this site. So, but now you find it in different ways, like RSS feeds on
Hmm.
Twitter and others, and search. So it's interesting how this blogosphere has evolved.
Right, right. I mean, with the tools and the people that you have out there now, you can just about get anything. You can find a subject expert on just about any topic.
Yep. So and talking about that, we will do about this half time. We talked about for 20, 24, 25 minutes, and I have one that I have a philosophical question about the trader principle. I sent it to the guest before, and it's about the free market and how you exchange values. How have you seen that when you have been now more publicly writing on a site? Do you get interest and people who want to ask you about your services and so on? And have you experienced that? I mean, the free exchange of ideas and text materials, and also it could be products and services.
Well, I get most of my my people wanting my service through networking.
Yep.
But the one thing that from blogging, one of the things that I've been able to do is there's been some people out there struggling,
Mhm.
quite not quite confident on, they have it written, but they're kind of scared to hit that publish button to
Mm.
put it out for the world to see. And I've been out there, I've helped them with that,
That's great.
giving them encouragement and that sort of stuff to finally do it, push that publish button and send it out for the world to see.
Yeah, that's great. So you have become a like inspirational and a coaching in a way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if I can help one person with a blog post, then that was great.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And talking about this networking, I'm a certified networker through this referral academy, or in Swedish it was called Referensakademin. And John Jens, do you know him? Duct tape marketing.
Yes.
Yeah, and he wrote a
Yes.
book called The Referral Engine. And I mean, as you when we talked and we learned each other, and when we have a Skype call, so you start to know somebody and you like them and you trust them, and then you do business with them. And that's with
Right.
trader principle also. You have to rely and trust people and like them, and then you do business. I mean,
Right.
it
It's
shouldn't
that
be any.
no like trust.
Yeah. So that's a good take on that. So what more? As I said, I got recently now Audible podcast program as an affiliate. So then it could be maybe a good idea to talk about books and other text material. Do you have any? What are you reading at the moment, or any tips or suggestions about social media, technical writing, blogging, something like that?
Right. Well, one of the things I just finished was the the book Catching Fire.
Okay.
So that's a book that I had just recently finished. As far as blogging and as far as the blogging books, I've got some real good ones that I've been reading.
Okay. Great. So we could add that in the show notes, and you could send it by email. So
Right. There's a well for your writers,
yeah,
for the writers that are out there, a couple books that
yeah.
I like to read, or I read over and over, should I say. One of them is The Well-Fed Writer.
What's the title?
The Well-Fed Writer.
Well-fed writer. Yeah.
Right. Right. And the other one, I'm looking at my books here. I got Blogging for Business is
Yeah.
another great book.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the links for
Yeah.
those.
That's good. So because that's what I say also. I'm also an avid book reader, and also now starting to listen to books for some time, because I like the touch, reading, to smell, to make notes, to have it in your backpack. But it's very convenient to listen to books also, and on an e-reader or something like that. But it's nice to
Right.
have your own library with stuff that, as you said, you could reread and go back and so on.
Hmm.
Do you have what's your future plans? And also maybe if you have suggestions on future guests that you would like to listen to, or topics that interest you.
Well, my future plans are to. I'm going to keep writing. I'm going to working on growing my business
Yeah.
through networking, which is absolute blast. So, like we were saying earlier, I love networking. It's the best way to meet new people and to grow my business. I have finished an ebook
Yeah.
for your readers.
Yeah. Great.
It's blogging made. The title of it's called Blogging Made Easy,
Hmm.
and they could find that at danswords.com
Yeah.
/Martin.
Yeah. Great, thank you very much. I appreciate that very much, and look forward to hear the feedback and comments from our listeners and readers and so on. So thanks for that.
Not a problem. It's you know it's tips and tricks
Yeah,
on how to get your blog up and running, and you know just how to be successful at blogging and using social media.
yeah,
It's the tips and tricks that I've learned over the months.
that's great. Any more things when you're planning or want to say or add or, and then of course you have to do a plug for your site and where people could find you.
Right, right. One of the things that I'm getting ready to delve into is a little bit more public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Getting into to again talking about writing and helping people to write and overcome their fear of writing,
Yeah.
so they could be successful. Google likes websites that are updated on a regular basis, and I want to help inspire them to be able to write, to get out there and do be able to hit that publish button and get their blog post or their content out for the world to see.
That's great. It sounds you're very passionate about this, so I applaud that, and I think it's as a long-time blogger myself. I mean, to see others that are very interested in and pro blogging, so to speak, and content creation. So, will you be? Have you attended or joined the Toastmasters group?
No, I haven't, but that's a
Yeah,
good idea,
yeah.
right?
I was a member in the past, but I think I've become a member again here in Gothenburg, Sweden, because it could help me in my podcasting, and of course also that I have workshops and courses and speaking engagement. So I think it's a good way of doing that through Toastmasters.
Hmm. Hmm.
Any
Yeah,
other like business organizations or other that you want to give a tip about or that have been useful for you?
I um, I really can't think of any no.
No, but
But
yeah,
but one thing I like your readers your listeners to understand is or to know about me is that when it came to school,
mm-hmm.
uh, I was not I was not a journalism major. I
No,
was not an English major. I'm just somebody that enjoyed writing, and I've learned the craft
yeah,
over these years, and I have to tell them if I can do it, I know they can do it too.
yeah. That's very inspiring and great to hear. So if you come up with more tips on that and links for books and others and specific blog posts, you are more welcome to send them to me, and I will include them in the show notes. So
Will do. Will
great.
do. Well,
And yeah,
they can always go out to danswords.com. I have all my posts are out there. They can go out and check that out anytime they want.
that's great. So and also I will publish this interview and also write a blog post with show notes on egonetcast.com, and you will also be able to find material on Facebook page, facebook.com/ego podcast, and also ego netcast. And of course you could reach out to me on Twitter on ego netcast, and you could repeat your Twitter name, Dan.
It's Dan D Swords. That's my Twitter handle.
Yep.
You can also find me on Facebook.com
Mhm.
slash danswords.writes,
Mhm.
WRITES, or you can also find me at LinkedIn.
Yeah, great. So with that, I think we are all set. If you don't have anything else you want to add, Dan?
No, I don't.
No?
This was excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining me here today and for your time. And talk to you soon again, Dan.
You bet.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.